Instead of starting off my vlog with baking like I have in the past too, I want to show you guys my revised first draft of book 1. So I would plan like different chapters. If it's focused on family or the character themselves or their love interest and things like that, those just like a vague outline. But this is my book planner organizer thing. Different personality type information, so INFJ. I think this character is an ENFPA-A. I have a section for research, and then I have a section for the beginning. Act 1, the first part of the story, falling action, the resolution/conclusion. Also, I came up with some exercises for the characters just to give me an idea of differentiating them personality-wise. I would add line changes. I finished this first draft May 14th. Something else I tried in this process was scene cards. I wrote some things out just to give me a better idea to plan, because when you're writing an interconnected series, you have to line up everybody just right. Otherwise, there's plot holes. Writing in M's book. I took a break from Briar's book to try to switch over to hers, and I've really been enjoying it, but I want to tell you because I wasn't sure if I was just going to write a little bit and then move back to Briar's, but the ideas are flowing, and I feel like to some extent I'm going to get the first drafts kind of even in pace with each other, so that way they're all at the midpoint, or most of them are, and then I bring them to the end and then go back around to the second draft and try to keep them maybe on an even pace. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner to show you guys my mom's CD collection that we've had for decades. WoW CDs, Stacy Rico, different worship CDs. We have a disc for a game called X-Plane where you play with a joystick. It was a PC game. Still have that. I just also love looking at CDs, like the designs they have on them. It's kind of a downside of not having physical media as much, is it lacks some of the personality that you would get from having CDs. But I actually still don't know what this album is. I saw the CD for years. I don't know. I couldn't find a label to find out what it is. I'm gonna have to put it in to see. But I love how colorful all the CDs are. See, Scholastic, some CD. Oh, Lion King. One of the best bands of all time. I listen to their music all the time to this day. Lion King, Before I Leave. This is one of my favorite CDs to look at ever since I was a child. It was WoW 2002. Also, I always thought that was a cool like silhouette that it has. Yeah, Lion King with Larry the Cucumber, because they did a Pirates That Don't Do Anything cover, and Newsboys did In the Belly of the Whale, which I love listening to. This must be Stacy. Here we go. Yeah, Jump 5. Yup. Ah, the X-Plane. Oh, there it is. Right there. So this is the game I was talking about that you play on a joystick. I don't know what year it was. 2000? That sounds about right. I remember even playing it a little, and I was only like 2 years old. I'm about to film my reaction to Kimi ni Toroge Season 3. They're like an hour long each episode, and there's 5. So that's a while, but I'm just so excited. So I just wanted to vlog before I start my life change forever. So today is August 27th, 2024 on Tuesday, and I'm about to finish the first draft of M's book, which I originally was considering to be the fourth book in the series, and it's a major moment. It's my second first draft being done out of all the 5 books in this series, and it's going to really help me to propel us forward, go into revisions, marking it up, making notes. We're about to finish it. So we have one scene left to finish, which is the laser tag scene, as I wrote the epilogue. I wrote it early. I wrote it like a few weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, because I found writing the epilogue, writing the end of the story helps me fill in the middle sometimes, and helps me know what to aim for, what to like feed into the story to make it work and to foreshadow and lead up to that point. So here we go with the end of M's book. Am I done? I think I'm done. I know I'll do more. I think I'm done. I gotta check how many words this actually is because I have to clear out my notes from the bottom of the document. 1 second. Okay, so official final word count is at 73,634 words and 291 pages. Now that I have removed all the extra stuff. And you can see me in the, the screen. So we have finished this draft, and guys, it's been such a journey. Like, I started draft 1 last year when I was still working on, I think, revisions for book 1, and I was writing V's book, I think, is where I was at. So it's just wild to me that this draft came together in 2 months, because the only thing I'd written like before was just like a little incy bit of chapter 1, and the fact that over the course of August and July that this draft came together is just like exciting to me. And I'm so thankful to have been able to document it. Like, guys, remember when we started? Like, how I think we were not even at 10,000 words when I started vlogging. It's my first time writing an interconnected series, and it's just been a journey of learning how to write books with God, learning how to write an interconnected series, learning how to write books again, because it had been so long since I wrote books in general. I've been in fan fiction for so long, and it's just been really cool to see the development of this character, how she became something so different than what I expected. Like, there were bits and pieces that were there. Like I said, I want to print out this draft, and I put it through Kindle so I can also read it. Actually, I've been doing this whole time, so I can read it as a Kindle book. I want to print out this draft. I want to mark it up as much as possible, make all the notes I can. Obviously, big picture edits need to be done, line edits need to be done, and we go about what we're going to implement later. But as I'm revising that, letting it sit a little bit, taking a break, I have 3 other books to finish their first drafts up. I'm so excited for this. Oh my gosh. Outside of that, when I'm doing the rest of today, I probably won't write any more today in general. I feel like we just bask in this, we savor it, we just enjoy the fact we finished this first draft. This sounds so bad.
Sirens whistle through my stomping grounds of gravel roads. It was already almost midnight, but it was raining on everyone's New Year's parade.
Significant number to you, but more than anything, and I want to pray for the fire.
I have actually decided to make a huge big picture edit change to this first draft, and that is having the main character and her love interest actually have known each other since high school, and they disconnected when she moved and he moved and they moved on, and then they come back around at the beginning of the story and they reunite. And the interesting thing is there's like a double life thing happening where they both have their own secrets of addictions and things like that. He knew her when she was an actress in all the school plays. She always got the starring roles. He was the stage manager. There's a lot of things happening at the same time, a lot of tension. This adds a lot of layers and texture that the story was really lacking before. This is such a major change to make, and I just love the fact that it's gonna be like Levi is gonna be a point of reminding her who she used to be and who she could still be. And then obviously she has this whole thing about how she is now. And I think even though it means It's weird because as I'm going through revising draft 1, I now have this big picture change to make in mind. So a lot of the dynamics gonna shift, the lines, the exchange of dialogue, all those things are gonna change. The prologue is going to become chapter 1, or that's what I was gonna do, but then I decided to change it from where they meet on New Year's Eve to they meet in the club in chapter 1. So instead of having that time skip moment, I figured it just gets right into the inciting incident easier. And I have been making an outline with some ideas I got, and I have a better idea of structure now. So I have the opening scene, I have the introduction of protagonist, love interest, the reunion, inciting incident, her joining the group that is heavily featured throughout this interconnected series, and then also we have Act 2. So I like to plan certain aspects, put them in brackets in the beginning of a chapter or section. I also do write chronologically at times, but I also like to write out of order because it just helps me to write a scene I'm really looking forward to. It gives me the energy and the passion to go into a scene I'm not necessarily as excited for, but is necessary to carry along the story. This is draft 1 as it currently stands. I actually go through and I make my revisions with highlighting. I write in the margins, I write throughout, I strike things through, I add sticky notes corresponding to just larger notes I want to make throughout the scenes. Another thing I decided to do is chapter 1, you see how thick this is for one chapter? It's kind of wild. I really do think it's a story by story case, but I do believe that these chapters should be shorter than they are currently.